In a moment in which Donald Trump is acting with complete disregard for the rule of law, and Elon Musk is taking every criminal and corrupt action possible to trim the fat in government, when in reality what we know he is actually doing is diverting government funds to his businesses away from his competitors and making sure he can continue to take the criminal acts and practices in his business that have made him so much money. Democrats are stepping up. They're calling it out. They're personalizing these issues, and they're talking about this real coup that we're seeing in our government from Elon Musk and the takeover that Donald Trump promised, but is now actualizing itself in a disastrous presidency and broken promises. And of course, one of the best Democrats in calling all of that out has been Jasmine Crockett, and she just did so in a clip that I want to check out. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now let's check out Jasmine Crockett.
Well, how is he doing this? Trump has designated Musk a special government employee, and as such, he should adhere to the same standards that apply to federal employees. According to the New York Times, Musk is widely seen as operating with a level of autonomy that almost no one can control. Musk has burrowed deep into federal agencies that are pivotal to running the federal government. According to Wired magazine, Musk has deployed a gaggle of teens and barely adult men who have taken control of the Office of Personnel Management and General Services Administration and have gained access to the Treasury Department's payment system, potentially allowing him and them access to a vast range of sensitive information about tens of millions of citizens, businesses, and more. They identified 6 young men, all apparently between the ages of 19 and 24, according to public databases, their online presences, and other records, and found that they have little to no government experience and are now playing critical roles. That leads me to the elephant in the room. How is any of this legal? Alex Wagner is back with me, and joining me now is Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who just came back from the Treasury Department, where she and other Democrats protested what they said was the illegal takeover of Treasury payments by Musk and his associates. Congresswoman, I will just ask you that question. How is any of this legal?
Well, first of all, it's good to be with y'all under terrible circumstances. I'd say that it's not legal, and we know that the legal challenges are already starting to work their way through court. So big shout out to those federal government employees that are standing up for themselves and not just going quietly into the night, but instead those unions that have decided that they are going to push back and fight for the American people. What is frustrating to me, though, is that we do have a segment of this country that is like, oh, this is great. I think that's my biggest issue, because I don't think that this should be about partisanship. Yet for whatever reason, it seems like only the Democrats care, and only Democrats care about getting on top of other Democrats, instead of calling out Republicans and saying this is a matter of right versus wrong. This is a matter of a democratic republic. Instead, they're just like, well, what are the Democrats doing? Well, we fought like we could on November 5th. And unfortunately, he controls every lever of government. And along with controlling every lever, he obviously has a good hold on their spines as well, because I've yet to see a Republican spine stand up.
Perhaps people may not understand that when you say they're going to zero out foreign aid, people go, good. They don't know what that is and how much it is. But there's a law that says that federal agencies cannot disclose an individual's private information from a set of government records without the written consent of the person. I wonder if people care about this. DOJ staffers have gained access, despite that law, to federal student loan data, which includes personal information for millions of borrowers. They might have access to the payment system for Social Security, Medicare. They may not care if quote unquote DOJ slashes government, but they may care if they can turn off their payments.
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of government, right? I mean, this is the reality. I think people don't understand how large of a role government plays in general in your everyday lives. But what is most concerning is that people don't understand that the power of the purse lies with Congress. And that is for a reason, so that we can't have one person having so much control that they can just say what's going to happen with all your tax dollars. Instead, it has to go through 435 people in the House, 100 people in the Senate, and then make it to the president's desk. And what we have is someone who, it's not even Donald Trump who's trying to do it. He's got Elon Musk over here trying to do it. And honestly, the role of the Treasury is just to follow the law. They are not there to be discretionary about what it is that they're doing. If we say this is how much somebody is supposed to get for their Social Security, then they are just supposed to make sure that they effectuate that payment. But right now, when they're saying, oh, we're finding all this waste, we're going to cut it out. Listen, you need to come holler at us in Congress then, because if we end up passing it through appropriations, which there is a question about whether or not we will get there, as we know that our next deadline is approaching on March 14th, and I fully anticipate that the government is going to shut down, because that is what Donald Trump likes to do. The last time we had a government shutdown, it was under Donald Trump. The only time that the longest shutdown we ever had was under Donald Trump. So you can't just go in and say, well, I don't want to pay this bill, so I'm going to just cut it off. I know that that's how he operates. I know that's why he ended up filing bankruptcy at least 6 times. I get that he doesn't pay his bills, but that is no way to run the United States of America.
The idea that Elon has access to this information is terrifying to me. The idea that Elon Musk can do whatever he wants without any true title in the government, that Elon can pretend that he is a volunteer just helping out, that's the biggest lie here. That's the lie we have to focus on most. Because as I've talked about before, this is an information environment controlled by Republicans. Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, they have the biggest podcast. Fox is the biggest cable channel. Donald Trump has Twitter. He's got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok in his back pocket, Google as well. Information is largely controlled by Republicans right now. And Elon Musk is pushing out this narrative that he's just helping out in the government, that he is, as I always say and throw up the quotes, trimming the fat, when in fact Elon's doing the opposite. I saw a post from Elon Musk yesterday saying, oh, the same people who are going to attack me for firing people in government wanted to hire 89,000 new IRS agents. And I guess what Elon was trying to say there is, they want to charge you more tax dollars for IRS agents, but I don't know, attack me for cutting the government programs that you need. I don't know. It was a weird argument from Elon. But what he didn't mention is every dollar spent by the IRS brings back about $22, $23 for Americans. $22, $23 for every dollar we spend. And why? It's because those agents are going after you or me for, I don't even know what. They're going after Elon Musk. They're going after Jeff Bezos. They're going after Mark Zuckerberg. They're going after the biggest tax cheats, the biggest billionaires, the biggest corporations. And Elon hates that. He hates the oversight. He hates those who will call him out and hold him accountable for his corruption, for his criminality. That's what he really wants to get rid of in our government. And of course, he wants to get rid of your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's a whole different story. That's the narrative that we have to call out. And that is exactly what Jasmine Crockett was calling out right here.
Let's give it up for Representative Frost. Next up, we have the wonderful Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas.
I'm going to try my best not to preach. I just want to say thank you, because every day that we show up in D.C., we show up for you. We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they're trying to pull right now. This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing. But let me tell y'all something. I know some of y'all have been frustrated, and you've been saying, where are the Democrats? Where are our leaders? Well, I'm here to tell you that we ain't never left y'all. All right? We are here. We are also going to make sure that they uphold the law. We are not going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face, we are going to be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. This ain't it. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right? Now let me be clear. What Maxwell said is true. Our job is to conduct oversight. We both serve on the oversight committee. And right now, as elected leaders who tried to go in, we were told, well, hold on a second. We got to check to see if you can come in. Now, y'all know he likes to pal around with Putin, right? He's trying to turn us into Russia. But I got news for him. We, the people, will not go. It's cold out here, and y'all, yeah, we won't go. We won't go. We won't go. We won't go. Listen, the final thing I'm going to say is there are those that have said that we may face a constitutional crisis. I want you to know that the crisis is here. I want you to know that the power belongs to the people, though, y'all. Do not feel powerless. In this moment, as the vice president said as she conceded the election, she said, dark times may be ahead of us. But she said, it's only in the darkness that we can see the stars. I am telling you right now that the stars are right here. It is time for us to shine. It is time for us to be heard. It is time for us to make sure that they know we will not go.
The idea that this has been allowed is still baffling to me, that this authoritarian, this oligarchy, the richest man in the world, the biggest political donor, the biggest government contractor, now has unlimited access, unlimited power over our government agencies. It's one thing for Trump to assert himself as dictator on day one. Oh, I'm the president, I can control these agencies. Unconstitutionally, mind you. But for unelected Elon to think he can do so just goes to show that dark money isn't in our politics anymore. People always say it's entrenched in our politics. It is our politics. And we have to make Elon the face of it and fight back against it. When we talk about issues that are important and salient, that's one right there. That's what we have to focus on. It's what we're going to be talking about on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.